partnerships are
Tough.
Everyone's great and everyone's a nice person, but when things go bad,
Yeah.
why do they like that?
Right.
I actually have a lawyer case right now.
So what do you recommend for people that are in partnerships or are like, I need to be in a partnership?
If you're brand new, yes, partnering with an expert. I partnered with an expert.
Right.
Welcome to the Deals in Aloha podcast, where we talk about real estate deals, hope to leave a lasting impact on our audience, and of course, spread aloha. You can find us on all social media platforms at Kamohai and Tristyn. Let's go.
We have the one and only Indar from White Sands Capital. He is Hawaii's biggest flipper.
Yes.
But he does a ton of stuff, and so I just want to jump in and hear all about it.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much.
So how we start every podcast is, how did you get into real estate?
So I'm not an overnight success by far. I've been doing this for a while, grinding, and born and raised Big Island, born in Hilo, born on a pot farm, moved to Kona when I was a little older, graduated Kona Waina, all that great stuff. Went to UH for electrical engineering, did an engineering degree, also did a business degree, so I got a lot of fancy pieces of paper on the wall. Doesn't do nothing for you really.
Right.
It doesn't go anywhere. Later got into my dad's construction company, he does commercial.
Construction, so I have a construction background. I have a contractor's license.
Oh,
so
cool.
I've always loved construction. I love jumping in. 2013, my wife drugged me to one of those seminars, and I was kicking and screaming, I'm not going to spend any money. No way.
Sounds like him.
Same story here, bro.
I can learn it on YouTube. I can figure out myself kind of mentality.
Yeah.
And long story short, we maxed out our credit cards and dropped $30,000 for that program. Actually.
Yeah.
That was Fortune Builders?
Yeah. Fortune Builders.
Yeah.
And I mean, it worked great for me because I took advantage and I used it. But a lot of other people
don't.
Yeah.
I know.
They go under with that. Yeah, it's crazy.
They were the hugest ones. They were signing up 20 to 30 people quarterly in Hawaii. So
wow. They're
do
still
they
doing
still
them.
do that here?
They do commercial now.
Oh, okay.
They don't do.
They don't do the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just do
Interesting.
commercial, actually.
So what year was that?
2013.
2013. Okay. So that was a long time ago. You've been
10 years.
You've been about 10 years.
Yeah. So that first year, got a wholesale deal off of Craigslist. This is back when Craigslist was easier to deal with,
Right.
legit. Like, Craigslist nowadays is kind of
Scammy.
Yeah. So I got a deal off of Craigslist in Hilo, 2 acres in HPP for $15,000, and I think I sold it for $25,000 on Craigslist. Put it right back on.
Nice.
New pictures. Got me a little bit of money in my pocket.
Right.
Yeah.
Same time, bought my own condo, lived in it myself, DIY'd it, and made $90,000 in 2 years off of that.
Nice.
And then, man, I struggled early on. It took me 9 months to really get my first flip.
Yeah.
And I was like, everyone else couldn't get a deal. It was hard back then.
Yeah.
And I was ready to quit, actually. We had a couple deals that fell through 2 days from closing. And I was like really disheartened.
Oh, man, yeah.
Just burnt.
Yeah. Especially after,
Going through
blowing
that
30
process.
grand, you know what I mean? You're like,
9 months of
this has to work,
Yeah.
So tell us about that first deal. It took you 9 months. Where did you get it from?
Right here, right by you guys.
Oh, no way.
Oh, actually, that was Kaneohe. It was close.
Still close, yeah.
Yeah, real close. Bought it for $700 in Kaneohe, and everything and anything happened on that deal. Contractors got high, and kick them off the job.
Great, yeah.
Luckily, I jumped in and finished it myself, and had a helper, and we sold it. Sold for about, I think, $1,025,000.
Nice.
I was scared shitless on that deal.
Oh yeah, for sure.
$700,000 is a lot of money to me.
Yeah.
It still is.
Yeah.
It's always a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I was just scared. And but we did that deal. I partnered with somebody to kind of feel reassurance.
Yeah.
And this is back when actually hard money wouldn't lend to you. Believe it or not, they wouldn't.
If you were new.
If you're new, you had to have a deal on your belt.
Nice.
We were at 14% and 2 points is
what?
We got, and that was normal.
Dude, that's wild.
And so actually early on, I would bring investors in to invest with me, and I would make JV agreements for them so they can do other deals that they were a part of my deal.
Right.
Yeah.
So I allowed them to do other things. So this was kind of a tactic I used to bring people to invest with me so they can offset and go do
and do
something.
it themselves.
Yeah. That's super interesting. So we have a similar story because my wife dragged me to that exact same event.
But we didn't leave there signed up.
No, I went kicking and screaming. I'm like, there's no way. We live in Hawaii. We can't buy houses with none of our own money.
Yeah.
But
You didn't follow me back then?
dude, I don't think I followed you yet.
No.
You know who
we
spoke?
weren't in real
you know
estate
who,
in that time.
Yeah, not at all. But you know who spoke at our event? Courtney.
Oh, yeah.
Taguchi,
And
yeah.
Angela Gregg.
Yeah.
Yeah. So something about hearing a local person
Me and
up
Courtney
there.
started at the same time.
Yeah, you guys started
So
the same
Courtney's
time.
an OG. Not a lot of people don't know about him.
for
but
sure.
he's an
Yeah.
OG.
He. I mean, when he was speaking, he was already doing a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Me hearing somebody locally here that was actually doing it and finding success at it switched my brain. I still didn't commit to that, but we went home like the next day and I called them up and I'm like, hey, I know this is the answer, but I'm not paying this much money. What other options do you guys have? And we bought like this Jumpstart 6-month
6
program.
months,
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
From them or
From them.
them.
Yeah, from them.
It was like limited access, just like bare bones, but it was enough just to get us
Yeah,
started.
their program's not great for any kind of extras. It's just great for the beginner
Yeah.
who wants to.
Totally.
What I always say
wants to do
is
one or two.
they're
Yeah.
really good at teaching how to underwrite deals.
Yeah, just the basics.
You know what I mean?
Super
They're really
basics,
good at
yeah.
that.
And all the programs are all great in the sense that you know all the answers. It's real estate's not rocket science.
No.
Yeah.
It's just they're labeling it in order for you. Okay, you do this first. You
Yeah,
do this next.
they're
and
really
this.
good at that,
And
yeah.
you're just kind of putting your puzzle together.
Totally.
Because real
Totally.
estate's not rocket science.
No.
No, not at all. It's a ton of very hard work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
But
yeah.
but it's
it's-
not like rocket science.
It is
at
its
all.
own language.
Totally.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
100%.
So many acronyms and
Yep.
so many short little terms and
Yep.
sometimes I think they make it up just to.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm in
People-
commercial now, and it's even more.
Oh, that's another level of terms
Yeah.
and terminologies
Yeah.
and
Oh, I'm
IRRs and
You're
yeah.
like,
it's
what
just-
are you talking about?
Yeah.
What are you saying?
I'll
So-
ask straight up to the lender or whoever, like, what do you mean?
What does that mean?
That's classic.
Yeah.
So you said your wife kind of dragged you in. Do you think you would have ended up in real estate if that
Yeah.
didn't happen?
So at that time, I was actually paddling. I was paddling heavily a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I was jumping around all the different clubs. And I went to Outrigger Canoe Club. And
Right.
I was around all these rich people, successful people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they all, at Outrigger, you guys are members, or you
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
members.
either their family has real estate in their portfolio of their success, or they did real estate to get there.
Yep.
Yep.
So I just knew real estate had to be my life.
100%.
Yeah.
It was very
That's-
similar to
Yeah, 100%. Similar to me. Because my dad grew up, well, he worked his way up in the banking world, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he used to take me to these like black tie events, right? And I'm just a young kid sitting at the table and I would just ask everybody around the table questions. And every single one of them was like directly or indirectly tied to real estate in some way.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's how they made their wealth. So I was like, from a very young age, understood that real estate is the path. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it was
100%.
super similar.
So you got your first deal, 9 months, went through a bunch of bumps and bruises, ended up, you finished it yourself, sold it. How much did you make on that deal?
We made 90 grand on that deal, but I have a partner who I gave him 30 actually.
Yeah.
I took another 30 management fee, and so I made about 60. Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
So you're like, okay, this works.
Yeah.
This is how it's supposed to
Yeah.
feel.
So I did one that year. Next year I did, I think 2. Third year, 3 or 4. 4 or 5 the next
And
year.
just kept growing
Yeah,
from
I'm
there.
not an overnight success.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
guys are growing fast. And
Yeah, we
stuff.
grew
I
fast.
did not
Yeah.
grow fast. I took not willingly took my time. I was just that was my route. that
Yeah.
I took. We all have different.
How were you finding deals at that time? Because Fortune Builders teaches you MLS, realtors.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
how were you finding them?
I tried everything early on. I actually did bandit signs. I made routes, and I had somebody hang up signs on the routes, and they would get commissions if somebody
Yeah.
called a deal.
Right.
They had a paid marketing site. You can do some postcards were really popular back then. Did the
Yeah.
postcards, but I wasn't doing too much ad spend. I was $600 maybe on an ad spend, so I wasn't throwing the right amount of money at it.
Right.
Right.
Of course, realtors, events. I was just trying everything and
Yeah.
everything in their mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I tried all that and it was working. I was getting deals, and as I grew, maybe 3, 4, 5 years in, I started getting enough deals from agents. And I never push to grow after that. I do 20 to 30 flips a year.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm like good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
so
That's
good.
a ton, dude. In this
But that's
market.
a lot.
But
Yeah.
I knew I can do more.
Right.
Like, I don't even do PPC. I have
Right.
like pretty much no overhead
Yeah.
On the
Well,
marketing side.
That's great.
But there's a side of you thinking like, can I push?
Can
Should I
do
do
more?
more? Maybe
Yeah.
I
There's
just do
always
the
that,
30
yeah.
flips and I wholesale the rest.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you know
Exactly.
what I
The
mean?
wholesaling part of it
Yeah,
all.
exactly.
Yeah.
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 It's hard to wholesale. I've tried wholesaling deals before. And the problem with wholesaling here is obviously you're going to keep
The
make
juicy
The good
ones.
ones.
juicy, yeah.
Right,
You're going to
right.
wholesale the bad ones off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's not too many people
People.
that you can.
Yeah.
Like there's probably this many people in our hand. We could wholesale some hard
Right.
flips
That are
to.
actually
Well, and
gonna
it's like you
close,
kind
yeah.
of feel bad, right? You're like, I wouldn't buy this deal, so I don't really want to have somebody else buy this
Well,
deal.
it's that, and
you
then
know?
they're all your friends too, so they're looking at you like,
They're
bro,
like, "Are
you're
you
not
really?"
doing
Yeah.
it, so why would I
Yeah.
do it? You know?
But you know there's money on the bone. I had this
Yeah.
really juicy one in
Yeah.
Kalihi, and I tried to wholesale it. Everyone, no one wanted to do it. Ended up doing it. I made $100,000. But
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
dude, this is a deal. This-
Yeah.
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 I know. Well,
Some of them
people's
are-
comfort. You always say, what do you say? Somebody has to do the deal. Or
Yeah,
somebody
yeah, yeah. That's your motto.
Yeah, somebody's gonna do
somebody's
the deal.
gonna do
Someone's
it.
gonna figure it out.
Yeah,
Might as well be me.
Yeah.
Either I make the $100,000 or somebody else makes the $100,000. you
Right.
know? If I told you I'll pay you $100,000 to figure this out, would you do it?
Yeah.
You know. So I always look at that.
Right.
Totally.
right.
Totally.
Okay, so you worked your way up, and then so on average now you're doing 20 to 30 fix and flips here on Oahu. Do you fix and flip anywhere else?
Yeah. So last year we were wholesaling nationwide, as
Okay.
well as we got a ton of off the market deals from our hard money lender.
Oh, no way.
They were foreclosing on things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're marked down at 70% below the purchase price, not even ARV.
Oh, nice.
okay.
When they buy it, right?
Yeah.
So I was getting it at a really steep discounted. We did about 15 hotel deals up in the mainland, and now we have 5 more that we ended up having to fix and flip.
Oh, okay.
What markets on the mainland? Like all over? Or are
We
you
did a lot
specific?
we did some in Texas. I killed it in Texas. Chicago, we got 1 left. We did 3 in Chicago. New Jersey, sold that. We have New York listed on the market. I have a huge portfolio in Connecticut of 114 doors in Connecticut.
Mm-hmm.
I have another New York property. And then we bought the shopping center in Wisconsin just now for $6 million. And I have a multifamily in Pennsylvania that I own with a partnership. And then Indiana, we have so I'm all.
Yeah,
All
a
over
ton.
the place.
All
Yeah,
over.
yeah,
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, because you started fixing and flipping. When was the point that you realized, okay, wait, I want to keep some of these houses, and how was that transition?
Well, you
Yeah.
guys know, in hindsight, you're like 2020,
Should've
like
kept
some
that.
of the
Should've kept
some
a
of the
lot
cheap
of them.
little ones, yeah, like those cheap wine eye ones. It's
Yeah.
like, oh man, that would have been great cash flowing rental properties.
Right,
Totally.
right,
And I
right.
always kick myself in the butt because you watch them appreciate too. Now that you've
Yep.
seen over time, like, oh man, that's selling at $1 million now, and
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Right.
But yeah, I'm guilty. Early on, I was still all about wanting the money.
Yeah.
I wanted money now, and
Yeah.
I that was always my fighting point. I want $50,000 now, or I'm gonna make $500 a month.
month,
Like,
yeah.
like that doesn't sound
Yeah,
right
it's
to
hard.
me.
Yeah.
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 And then when I started making serious money flipping, then I realized I need to keep some of this. One, my first, I think, inclination to keep things was I didn't have nothing to show for flipping. I was making money flipping, and I was
Yeah.
making good money,
Right.
but I didn't have nothing to show. I had
Yeah.
a nice condo at the time, nice
Yeah.
stuff.
Right.
but
Right.
I didn't have anything to show for it.
Yeah.
And that's
yeah.
kind of early on. I was like, I need to start keeping some of these rentals.
Yeah.
And now we're at the point where, so what, you make $1 million a year flipping, that's great, but you got to go do it next year, and you got to do it next year, and you got to keep
It's a very
Yeah.
active.
Doing it
It's a
very-
job.
it's a job.
It's
Yeah.
an active
Yeah.
job.
100%.
And
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
society, the people I hang out with now, they don't care what you make. They
No.
want to know your net worth.
Exactly.
So that's like the people I hang around with. They want to know your net worth, your
Mm-hmm.
portfolio,
Yeah.
your health and wellness, and all this other.
Yeah.
Right.
pillars of life
It's not all about the money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, oh man, you own all of these properties all over the place. Do you have like teams in all of these places?
so.
Yeah. So like, how was that like building teams in other markets? There's a lot of people that, I mean, we're told often you can't cash flow in Hawaii, right? And
Yeah.
I mean, we're not a cash flow state. We're a high appreciation equity
can.
state.
You gotta
You
change your
can.
mindset.
No. I do believe you can. There
don't say
are
that word.
ways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't.
Yeah.
Because that that was my problem 4 years ago. Is I saying I can't. And
Yeah.
I really believed I couldn't find no deals in Hawaii.
Right.
rentals, And I think that was my hindering.
Limiting belief.
Yeah, because when I'm saying that, I'm putting that in the universe.
Right.
I'm creating that
I
energy.
1000% agree.
You?
That's
That's the better question.
So I say
Yeah.
I can, and
Yeah.
there is, and there's enough, and I will. I
Okay.
can, I will, I must.
Yeah.
And it just starts coming. There's deals.
You start finding deals
You
where it's
start-
possible.
And that's something that you guys should, because I think this
Take
is
note
a
of.
very common misconception about using those kinds of words. But like everybody believe that's what you're told, right?
Yeah.
You can't cash flow here.
Yeah.
We can't do it.
But now
so
you're putting it on the universe, and you're putting it on your head.
that's all you're going to see.
Yeah.
That's all it's
you're
going to come
gonna
to.
see. Law of attraction,
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
100%. So, I mean, I think what people, commonly known here, because of our price points and our rents don't normally keep up with our mortgages, it's harder to, not impossible, but it's harder to cash flow, right?
yeah.
So, what made you go to the mainland and start building a portfolio over there?
Well, I actually left. I had partnership in Ohio. We had 16 Airbnbs. That was my first step in the mainland.
Okay.
And it was just some great deals. Trusted the partner. I thought I did actually, and but yeah, it was a partnership. And now I'm very wary of that partnership went bad. I think he started failing in some other partner deals.
Yeah.
Outside of your guys's. Yeah.
I think he was paying our contractor. He was paying our contractor for that. I
So
couldn't
robbing Peter to pay
decipher-
Paul.
Yeah, I couldn't decipher if that contractor where that money was going.
Right,
It was
right,
just-
right.
Money was disappearing.
So, you have a lot of partnerships
I don't like partnerships.
You
No,
don't like
I don't
because of
partnerships.
that.
because of
I
that.
did one with them. The name you mentioned earlier, I did a partnership with them as well.
Right.
And I don't like partnerships. One is I end up doing more than the partnership, so I don't really do too much partnerships.
Yeah.
Or it's just partnerships are tough.
Tough.
Yeah.
Everyone's great and everyone's a nice person, but when things go bad,
Yeah.
Yeah.
what do they like then?
Right.
I actually have a lawyer case right now with a partner.
So,
Yeah.
what do you recommend for people that are in partnerships or are like, I need to be in a partnership?
If you're brand new, yes, partnering with an expert. I partnered with an expert.
Right.
Yeah.
Not a beginner, with an expert.
Yeah,
Somebody
yeah.
Like your guys
Yeah.
of
Right,
course.
right.
Don't partner with a like-minded person. I mean, equal level person.
Yeah, yeah.
100%.
That's
Yeah.
when you can go in trouble.
Yeah.
But I think a partnership rule should be you do 70%, they do 70% of the work. So you're always almost overmatching the work. And I think that's a great partnership when they're trying to do more and you're
Yeah.
trying to do more. Then you feel equal.
How are you finding these partnerships? Like, where were these relationships coming from?
Mostly from people bringing me deals. And,
Yeah.
Okay.
I would help fund it.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
would
yeah.
bring deals. I don't partner with somebody else if it's my deal.
Right.
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 Yeah.
New
That
guy-
makes sense.
New people. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sure you guys get it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
100%.
But I'm picky and choosy, and
Rightfully so. I think once you reach a certain level of success and have experience under your belt, you have to be more selective because we have a lot more to lose.
yes,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
exactly.
Totally.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
and it drains you. It's a lot of draining. of
No,
time
totally.
and
I
energy.
think being super selective, having everything in writing, having those hard conversations from the beginning, and almost having like, now that we have experience and we form relationships with good attorneys, it's like have them draft up your partnership agreements. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But I think it's that and just jumping into something super long term right off the bat isn't necessarily a good thing in any way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you should have some kind of a dating phase before you
Yeah,
really
before you go get married.
jump into it, you know? But yeah, I feel like we've learned a lot. And in the beginning, we're like, okay, you brought us a deal, let's partner. But like, it's not always a good partner.
Yeah.
You know, no matter what.
Well,
So
I think where you guys you're at that level now where you can be picky and choosy. When you're early on, you have one or two deals.
You're hungry.
You take the partnerships
Right.
because you see the money.
Right.
Maybe half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you have enough deal flow, like I just turned down this crazy hard deal this guy wants because I just want to do base hits right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to do base hits. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's also about sticking to your buy box. You know the deals, you know your sweet spot, you know the profit margin you want to make, like, are you at a place where you need to take on those super hard deals?
Yeah.
Probably not,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
If you just want one deal going, maybe try that hard deal, but
Right.
Right.
Right. So what strategies are you currently focused on?
I mean, we have a great team. I have a great team of flipping houses. We have a accountant, bookkeeper. She kind of runs everything. I have Ella, who's kind of our CEO. She's behind the scenes running everything. We have a acquisition guy. He's just a sales guy. He works also with raising capital as well as locking up deals. Of course, our project manager. And then we have 3 or 4 VAs that are really great. That was my first hire early on, was just getting a VA. That was
totally.
Best hire.
Dude.
Couldn't agree more.
Especially the paperwork,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I was really weak on social media early on. I never really did social media. I wasn't into it, I guess.
Yeah. No, it's
I was just
definitely
trying to grow my company.
its own beast for sure. But now it's like social media is your business card. You know what I mean? That's how people know who you are, what you do. You have to in this day and age. Believe it or not, we are not very social, like out in the world people either, but social media has helped us tremendously.
100%.
Yeah. And your social media person's doing a great job.
It's not all me.
Yeah. So that's kind of what your team looks like right now. Are you guys more focused on like flipping, or more focused on multifamily, or more focused on commercial at this time?
So I have my machine running for flips, and they're good. We're not trying to scale anymore. I actually did math. You could actually get up to 90 flips a year.
No way.
2,000 investment homes sold a year.
Yeah.
So 2,000 if you corner the market and take 90 a year, which would be crazy.
That's
amount.
crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Can you imagine the permitting stress?
No.
No.
I have zero desire to do that.
Not even close. Yeah, I
I'm-
never
I was
want.
actually weighing heavy. Should I go up to 60 or 70? Because I can turn on my machine. and
Yeah.
Right.
to want that, with the permitting, like, do you?
Yeah, it's a
want
nightmare.
that?
Yeah.
No, I have zero desire, like I said. I'm good between 25 and 30 a year. I'm
So
good.
I stick there. 20 to 30.
Yeah.
Give or take.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And then, I'm trying to focus my time more on the multis and rentals, and passive. I have a personal goal. I'm really big into goals. I write my 3 goals of the week, how I'm going to get there, what I need, minimum steps to get there. I'm really big into like reverse engineering the goal too.
Love that.
Totally. Yeah.
Not just writing it down, but what's the steps I need
Right.
to do.
What's the daily action steps I need to do to
Well,
get
what's
here?
the roadmap? How are you going to know
Yeah.
you're going to get there? Yeah.
So my biggest goal is 5 generations of wealth for my kids, and I want to make 84 net a month in passive income.
Nice.
So
Love that.
net,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Net.
'Cause
Why?
That's not a job.
Right. Then
Yeah,
you're like, maybe I can
exactly.
do more flips, like if you have that passive. So why commercial? Why multifamily? Why did you go in that direction and not just stick with the single family Airbnbs?
You can just scale a lot faster.
Okay.
I mean, we have 25 rentals here in Hawaii, and they're great.
Mm-hmm.
We have Airbnbs here.
Right.
Actually, we were just talking about Big Island earlier. We're going to change some of our Kona rentals. We have this 4-unit house and 3 units at the bottom. We're going to switch them to Airbnbs because actually our Airbnbs are easier to manage than our
Long term?
Long term, because our
Dude.
long terms are turning over about a year. There's no
Yeah.
kitchens in these is the one, so they kind of get bored of
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
small little studios.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been turning over every year. Then you got to clean them and fix them, and
Yeah.
spend a month.
Right.
getting back.
Right. Yeah.
So I talked to the girls, and let's just switch to Airbnb. Our Airbnbs run smoothly. We have a really nice team that our team runs our Airbnbs, and it's really
So you don't outsource. Everything's in-house. How?
in-house and apps.
Right.
A lot of apps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God for
Softwares.
apps.
Yeah.
So many subscriptions. It's so annoying.
I know. That's crazy.
I'm actually gonna. We're changing banks from Central Pacific to First Hawaiian Bank.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about it because it's gonna wipe out my bank cards and any kind of like subscriptions or things.
They're gonna get turned off.
Yeah, you're
All
like,
the
oh
things
shucks. Now I know which ones I actually need.
I bet if we really like dug into all of the software and subscriptions
Oh, there's a
that we
ton.
have,
There's a ton.
that we don't even know there's getting taken out every
But
month.
that's about
wild.
that's part of the systemization. But I guarantee you, there's some in there we don't need. Yeah.
I have some subscriptions for TV stuff. And
Oh my gosh, yeah. So what made you decide to bring everything in house?
I've always been a house. I was a one-man show for a while.
Right.
I was pounding this out for a long time, for years by myself, just doing myself. And that's my weakness. No one can do better than you, kind of thing.
I mean, nobody's gonna care about your business
Yeah.
like you care
Which is
about
still
it.
true,
It's still
but
hard. It's still hard. to
yeah.
hire.
So hard. Yeah.
It's really hard to get the right team. I've been through some bad team members.
Right.
I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
That stole from me and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You know, it's hard to get that right people in place. You know,
How are you finding your team
I'm
members?
really big into personality tests right now.
Okay.
So early on, after I got my VA, I knew I needed to get just an admin girl, kind of just assistant.
Yeah.
And I was working from my house, my condo, and I went through 3 or 4 girls that come in. We work off our countertop, like, you know, out there, and
Yep.
that was our work zone.
Yeah.
Yep.
3, 4 girls I went through at least in a year, I think. And I was just hiring them because they had great education and great on paper. The resume was great,
Right.
Yeah.
but they weren't the right personality trait. So I had a great buddy, Jay, who turned me on to the DISC test. Actually, we were at a meetup, and we had this huge talk about the DISC test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And finding that right, you know, a person that's going to be an admin, that's a very task-orientated person. They love that feling of completing tasks.
That task.
Yeah.
Marking the boxes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So finding that trait that fit for my admin position, you know, and we were looking for a project manager, and my guy did the DISC test, and he's a better sales guy. I was like, no, let's move you over to sales.
Sales.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Move over to sales.
And he succeeded.
Killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great on
That's
top.
cool.
I feel I went through a very similar experience with finding our company coordinator who just helps me on all my back end stuff. Went through a ton, but it wasn't until I took the personality side a lot better and it really made them do all the personality tests, DISC, all of that, and reviewed it carefully and didn't go off of what their resume said, but also looked at if they were a good fit for the task at hand, you know. It wasn't until I actually took a look at DISC and other personality tests that I found the girl that I have now who's a freaking rock star. And once you have that solid team member, it does change the game
Yeah.
for your business because you can actually trust that person to do a
You
decent
can
job.
do more.
Yes.
My problem is, yes, I find a great person, and I think I'm going to not.
Do less.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, yeah. You just
Start
do
doing
other
more.
things.
I'm like,
Yeah. You're like, wait, now I have more time.
Yeah, I
I'll do
know.
something else.
Well, mine is feeling guilty for like not doing that task anymore. Or I'm like, I delegated that, but like now I feel hopeless or now I feel like I need to do something, you know? But it's like we got into this industry to have time freedom. Why are we not reaping the benefits of what we've worked so hard to build, you know, and actually have some freedom?
Yeah, I think it's that, and as entrepreneurs, we're always pushing the
Yeah,
bar.
it's the goals.
What's
When's
next?
Right.
enough's enough.
Exactly.
Yeah, I had you guys know Josh Jorgens started Bigger Pockets.
Yep.
I had a
Yeah.
big talk with him. He was challenging us. We were on the hill with him, and he's like, "When's enough enough? Like, when are you going to stop?"
Yeah.
We had this huge conversation because he sold Bigger Pockets, made a ton of money, and
Right.
he said he
He's
plays
good.
tennis and had an hour bath the whole day. That's what he did the
Dude,
whole
that's
day.
crazy.
And,
That's
Yeah.
what I'm talking about right there. Like, you know,
But I think that's a hard thing to figure out for a hungry entrepreneur.
and it's
You know what I
different
mean?
for
you
everybody.
push that bar. You push
Yeah,
the
you
limits,
just
yeah.
push it.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure our goals are pretty similar, but there's differences, you know, it's different for every entrepreneur.
Yeah. So I mean,
I try not to look at other
It's, you
people's
can't.
Comparison?
You
because
can't.
I think sometimes we
Yeah.
may have different goals.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I know generally the same, but I don't compare anymore. I
Well,
used to at the beginning.
Yeah.
I think
Well, that's a
everybody-
slippery slope
I-
too, you know?
very
But there's
slippery
abundance
slope.
enough for everybody, and that's why I love
Yep.
helping local people and giving back to.
100%.
Because I think there's enough for all of us to do well. And
There's more
do
than
one
enough.
flip a year for that local
Yeah.
person.
Exactly. I know.
Well, one
And-
flip a year for one person making $100,000 is life changing,
amazing.
you
Yeah.
know?
And
Yeah.
once you do that first flip, you're kind of like, yeah, like I can do
Okay.
more.
I can
Yeah.
do more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. So, I mean, you talked a little bit about that was a mastermind that you're at. Have you always been, because your first thing was education, have you always been like a firm believer in education?
Yeah, huge,
Okay.
Huge. I've done a lot of other masterminds. Panetta's. I was close to doing Paces. I never did sign up.
Yep. Yeah.
I kind of was going to ask you guys a while ago, maybe last year, if I should. Yeah, I'm curious to know.
Yeah.
course.
Yeah. Totally.
But, the education programs I'm looking for is more for scaling, more for growth, and it's hard to find those types of programs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, for those successful
Yeah.
high-level people.
Right.
Well, it's more like
right.
masterminds at that point, you know?
So,
Yeah.
now I'm part of the Maui Mastermind and those
Yeah.
kind of groups. And
Yeah.
they're great because it's more goal setting and working on yourself. And what can you do better? You know, I hang out with those guys, and you know, at dinner we're talking about dinner conversations. What's your quarterly goals for the next year? How can I help you get there? Literally, that's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
I need to hang out, do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
are the conversations I need to be having.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're challenging you, and they're people who've been there and done it, and so you can really share. When you're sharing with people who failed or who's grown, you know, you can like. I'm sure if we had a private conversation, just us, we can share.
Yeah.
And we would intimately relate to each other really
100%.
quickly
Yeah.
because we've been there and we failed together and we've grown. And
Yep.
we would know those deep feelings together. You know?
Right.
And we also have that same entrepreneur drive together. So
Totally.
just we would be friends really quickly. That's what happens in these
Yeah.
groups.
No, couldn't
Yeah.
agree more. And it's great that's more and more opportunities for masterminds and education is coming to Hawaii, because for so long you would have to go to the mainland to absorb it or be in those rooms.
There was only one guy back in the day. It was Zella, and
Yeah.
he
Yep.
screwed over a bunch of people.
Right.
Yeah.
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 So you talked a lot about like you're really big on goals. Like what are some of your goals? Like where
Yeah. Where are
What's-
you headed?
yeah.
What's next for
Yeah, just the
Indar?
84,000 net a month.
Love
you
that.
know, cash flow. So it's about 100 million in real estate owned. So I'm just keep on looking at that net a month.
Yeah.
And then I'll keep my flipping portfolio to try and keep on the course about $1 million there netting
Yep.
and that. So I'm just kind of comfortable there. And
Yeah.
then time freedom, of course.
So you
Yeah, yeah.
have passive income. Why keep flipping?
Yeah, I thought of that a couple years ago. I asked my dad that, like, he's like, Dad, I can probably stop right now. I'm fine.
Yeah.
I can live fine. Where our house is like
Like,
I got
you're
a
okay.
Beautiful
You're-
house.
Yeah.
Got my car. And
Right.
All
Right.
the things,
Yeah.
crap
Right.
I don't need.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, you probably would go. I was huge into paddling. I've done 39 Molokai in 2 days. I love paddling.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you
Like-
see his parents all the time
Yes.
then.
Yeah.
I know your dad. Well,
Yeah.
I know your dad's brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Sai.
Yeah.
Oh, Sai.
I
Yeah.
know Cybro.
Yeah.
I paddled at New Hope my first year. Actually.
Oh, no way.
Oh, cool.
I was into church at the time.
Yeah,
very
yeah,
heavily
yeah.
into
Yeah.
church and
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
At New Hope, and
That's
he
awesome.
kind of got me into paddling.
Love that.
That's
Love
crazy. Super
But
cool.
that would be my addiction. So, yeah, I think we're addicted to this growth, this business, and it's like
100%.
At least this is a good addiction compared to
that. Others.
others, like, you know.
Yeah. No, I mean, we have similar stories there too, as well. I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs have very obsessive personalities, right?
You have to
And
figure out
we
where to
have-
channel it.
Right. Like we have the opportunity
to share.
to
Yeah.
go down the wrong path
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
channel into something healthy like
Yes.
real estate
Yeah.
And get obsessive about
It's
that.
almost a
you know?
superpower, to be honest with
It
you.
is.
Yeah.
If you learn how to use that power
Yeah.
the right way.
Exactly.
100%.
People don't realize.
Exactly.
Right,
Yeah.
totally.
100%.
It's not a hindrance.
Right.
actually.
Right. So you're not really doing tons of marketing, or are you now?
No, we
A lot of just realtor referrals.
realtor relationships.
Yeah.
We do.
Were those like just relationships built over time? Like people, they're like, okay, I know Indar will close if I give him the
We have
deal.
our standard agents, I'll call us.
Yeah.
Send us deals.
Yeah.
Our go-to agents. It's
Right.
a small market of properties, I should say. That's
Right.
Coming on.
Right.
And a million, 10,000 agents in our state. So
Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
It's nuts.
16,000.
So what's the most challenging deal you've ever done?
I've done so many.
I
Actually,
know.
You know what?
What's the
Early-
first one that comes to
so
mind?
early on, I took this was really important to my growth. Early on, I took the hardest deals that no one wanted. I was only doing 1 or 2 deals. So I did this Manoa house where there was like 14 support beams under this house, huge house on the mountain, hard to get to.
Yeah.
And we did this project that no one wanted to do. And it was tough. It was really hard getting in there. Luckily, I have Filipino guys, and Filipino guys are just like creative, like
Figure it out.
And
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
hammer
they work hard
nails,
too,
and
yeah.
they can like figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it didn't scare them. So early on, I did this other house in Waianae where we're like falling through the floors and just really rotten.
Yeah.
My dad saying tear it down, and I just did projects that were really tough.
Mm.
And after doing those, now anything else is easier. Like,
Yeah.
you've done some really hard projects.
Totally.
And you look at something else. And
That's easy.
cake, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think doing some hard projects early on
Mm.
kind of opened my mind to
Gave you thick skin.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we're doing this huge multifamily deal right now, 3.1 million, and everybody else says, "Oh, it's a tear down, it's bad."
Yeah.
Oh, those are those apartments. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Where
really
is
just
that?
big houses.
Big houses that split up. Yeah. I saw that
We
one.
actually went to go look at that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't we go look at those?
I don't know if it was that one, but we
Oh.
looked at a couple similar.
Yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
look
Two
like
bills.
that. Yeah.
Those look
Two
pretty.
buildings by UH.
Right. Those look pretty bus.
Yeah.
But they
Inside's
they're just
not.
big houses. Yeah.
Inside's not. They're actually just 4-unit houses, 4 units, and that's a house.
Oh, that's it?
That's
It's only 4
crazy.
units?
Two
Yeah,
4
yeah.
units, 8-plex.
Yeah, yeah.
And a 6-unit brick building.
Oh, nice.
So are you going to dispo that? Are you going to burn it? Like, how are you?
I'm gonna just straight flip them.
Yeah, just straight flip them.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Yep.
thought of, so it's 3 buildings. I thought of doing 1 building, selling it off, and refinancing, keeping the 2nd building.
Yeah.
And my buddy Jay, he's like, dude, just
Just flip
sell it and make that money and go buy a better thing in the main.
Yeah,
go.
where you get a
Yeah.
higher.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Mm.
we just flip it.
It's so funny. We
Nice.
just had this conversation about flipping multifamily here. Because
Yeah,
like,
we
it's
had.
I've
hard.
been looking for a while.
Like, it's
I
hard.
Looked
Yeah.
for years and years
Mm.
to find it. It's really hard to find because they're really hard cash flowing. Kind
Yeah,
of thing.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why you just got to flip 'em.
Everyone
Just
that
bigger
I-
flips.
Everyone that I see come up or a wholesaler sends me, just it doesn't make
Never
sense.
makes sense.
Yeah, never makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
So
Right. Okay. So, what has been your biggest success or your biggest triumph in your
My
10-year?
kids.
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good answer.
That's a great
I would say
answer.
that's
Yeah.
mine too.
I don't know. It's the first thing comes to
Oh
mind.
no, totally. But in your career, your real estate investing career.
Just I've been humbled and blessed to be able to do this here in Hawaii, and to be a light for local people, as you said. There's no one to be able to do this in Hawaii. Everyone said you can't do
Yeah.
it. You know, just to be able to. I think we do amazing things by providing affordable housing, providing housing.
Housing
for
just in general.
local
Yeah.
people, and
Yep.
these are communities. Like, we just kicked the crackhead out of this house. Like, there's needles and stuff on the street.
Yeah.
Like, just creating that nice community
Yeah.
now for the people for years to come. Now, you know,
Right.
it's 15 years, it's 20 years. This house is going to be
Yeah.
have a family in, and I value that inside. You know, that's a great accomplishment, of course. The goals always keep getting bigger. You know what it is the stress levels keep you. It's like this muscle. You're building this stress level.
Yeah.
You're like, that's not stressful
yeah,
anymore.
yeah,
I need to go
yeah,
add stress.
Yeah.
It's like you keep pushing.
Totally.
Because you can stop right now and be
Yeah.
fine, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's like, I want to, that deal, or I want to
Yeah.
figure that one
Well,
out.
you're meant for more, you know, like, and if you have the potential and it almost becomes a responsibility, you need to keep doing more,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always look at it as because like we are local people here, right? We do have a responsibility to share what we have learned because, dude, I'm telling you, I hate hearing people say I'm priced out of
Yeah,
paradise.
I hate that too. Yeah.
That is my.
So tell me why you hate that,
I
please.
cannot
Well,
stand
they
that.
think they have to buy the $1 million house.
Yeah.
They think they have to move into the beautiful $2 million house out of the bat. They don't realize that we didn't start that. Most people don't start that way. You
Nope.
buy the $200,000-$300,000 condo, live in it, sell it,
Yep.
move up. Like, that's how I got it.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, we
100%.
rented
Yeah,
for a
rented.
long time, and we actually acquired rental property while renting, and our whole family thought we were nuts because they're like, "Why are you buying rentals when you're renting? It doesn't make any sense." But now it makes sense for them, right? Because now we kept one of our flips, and our rentals pay for our mortgage, you know, and they're like, "Oh, now I get it," you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
But like,
totally.
you don't have to start at the top,
Yes.
nor are you supposed to.
Yeah, no, you're supposed to. You're not going to move
Yeah.
into a $1 million house off the bat.
Exactly. Yeah, we use that as stepping stones, and I think it's that, and most people are limited by the knowledge they have, right? And so, in the end, I don't think everybody can do it. I don't love hearing when people say that anybody and everyone can do it because it does take someone that is willing to put in a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
But if you get the knowledge, you can start to take those action steps. So
People who don't have the knowledge is the ones that hurt us. I just heard
Exactly.
some realtor the other day bought a house and she had no idea, you know, and like it was not a flip. She bought it at like market value. She's banking on it going up. And
Yeah.
it's people that don't have the
Yeah, you're only limited by your knowledge.
Right.
When you know more, you can do better for yourself, for your family, for your
You know
community.
what's weird is like I feel like I'm never smart enough. Like I never
Never.
feel like I know.
No, 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 no.
100%.
It's
I
like
mean,
a
that's
weird feeling, you know.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
However much you know in this business, you just never feel like
Yep.
You know.
But that's why we get in those rooms with those masterminds and those people, because I want to be the dumbest person in that room, so I can just soak it all in, you know?
Yeah. I think that's why it's so cool that now Brandon's here, because that is here locally. I think there just isn't anything here. I think when you get to a certain point, you always have to think about how you're filling your cup, right? Like we're all givers, and we're all like, okay, we want to help the next person, but if you're just draining yourself, it's draining. You know what I mean? So you have to be able, you have to be able to fill yourself back up. And oftentimes we have to fly to the mainland to do that.
I know.
You know what I mean?
So
Yeah.
much. Yeah. My wife gets pissed at me. Some of the, I go too many events in the mainland.
100%.
Like $100,000 last year, and just flights, hotels, and
All write off though.
yeah, of course, but it's the time away from the kids, and like
It's a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
my wife doesn't like, and then you're gonna go to another one next month. I'm like, oh,
Yeah. I think we've traveled almost every month this year, and it's
so
hard.
yeah.
We couldn't do it without the support and help from our family, for sure. My parents are huge. They help us with our kids. We hire a family. Like my brother's our project manager. My sister-in-law is super involved with our kids. So it's like we couldn't do it without family.
Yeah. I mean, so how do you balance it, your work and your personal life?
I'm pretty strict. In the morning, I don't answer my phones until 8 o'clock. I try not to answer any phones. Quick check of emails when I wake up. But I'm doing my morning routine. I'm up 6:30 ish. I kind of I let myself wake up. I don't do a natural.
Force yourself.
Yeah, the 4:30 a.m. wake up.
That's insane, dude. I love sleep.
Yeah.
I love
She's
sleep.
I
Yeah.
love
Yes.
sleep. And
You know,
I'm
it's my
not a
problem
morning
now is
person.
Now that I got older, I'm like, I don't want to wake up. I want to sleep.
Oh,
Sunday
yeah.
Or Saturday. I'm like,
And you just body
just
wakes yourself
lying
up.
there,
Yeah,
like,
sleep is my love language. If you let me sleep till 9, I will be the happiest person on the planet.
Yeah.
Naps in the day.
Yeah. So what is your morning routine then?
Wake up, a quick check of the phone, emails. I have mainland property, so I do got to look.
Yeah.
I get some calls. And then I sit outside. I put my feet on the ground. I like to get grounded on earth. I like to touch the earth.
Yep.
I just sit outside. I stare at the mountains and kind of just meditate. My kids will sit with me. And then I have a kind of a morning meditation book. I used to was reading some other meditation books that we've learned from that program.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and I was journaling from back then, actually.
Oh,
So
nice.
Now I use a different journal. I use Brandon's journal now.
Yeah.
It's got
Okay.
a good journal for
We've
goal setting.
We've used it.
We use his journal too. Yeah,
I've
it's
used
a
a
cool
bunch.
journal.
Yeah.
I'm a
There's lot of
huge
different-
advocate
Yeah.
on journaling and getting your thoughts out of your mind and onto paper.
Yes,
A lot of clarity comes from that.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah. Practicing
It's
that
so good to see
gratitude,
it.
you know?
Yes.
Yeah. Even if it's on your phone sometimes. When I'm 1 a.m. and I'm having anxiety, you just bust out your phone, you start typing all that shit out,
Yes,
you'll
yeah.
feel better.
Yeah, you get all those
Yeah.
thoughts.
Yeah,
You're a
yeah.
person like me. Yeah.
Out
Well,
of
my
your head.
brain turns on at like 11 and I'm like, God, I'm trying to go to bed. Like, what the hell, you know?
Everything on there.
I used
Yeah.
to keep a notepad by my bed.
Oh, man.
There you go.
Yeah. Who inspires you? Like, who is your mentor? Who are you tracking? You know, who's your guidance counselor per se?
I mean, I love any successful person. Anybody who has more than me. I think early on, I was doing a flip and I was getting a lot of bad advice from people. I was starting with no mentors back then in Hawaii, and everyone's saying you can't do this or you couldn't do this flip. But these are coming from people who didn't have much money. They didn't have
So coming from
millions.
scarcity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they didn't know. And so now I only listen to people who have more than me.
Yeah.
Back then I was listening to only millionaires. I had this millionaire friend of mine. He had this great story. And he told me is the average person, when they have 20 grand, they want to buy a car. They're going to take that 20 grand and go put a down payment and buy the car.
Yep.
And, I got to pay whatever, $400 a month, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Instead, the smart person will take that 20 grand, go buy a rental. That rental's not cash producing $400 a month, and you go lease it out.
Yep.
And that mindset shift I didn't have.
Yeah.
And that mentor friend of mine. And now, I love anyone there's a great guy I love. I'm really into a lot of big podcasts and stuff. There's a guy named Barry Schwitzner. He's huge. He owns Starwoods. He owns Marriott Hotels.
Oh, wow.
He bird the Cosmopolitan Hotel in Vegas.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Pretty
crazy.
cool.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
awesome.
I like to listen to those.
Yeah.
guys' stories
You Yeah.
Yeah. And
The billionaires.
Yes. Yeah.
I love that. I forget the quote, but I remember talking to somebody. It was back when I was running my nonprofit, and there was an intern. She was super shook up about something that somebody said, but it was a client that she was helping. So ultimately, the client was here in life, and she was here in life. And I forget what I said, but it was so impactful, and it stays with me to today. It's like, don't take advice from somebody that you don't admire or you don't aspire to be like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So amazing.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
Totally.
So
And some of the really big guys that I follow now, like, are not big on social. You know, I have even friends now in these circles. I got my buddy. He's selling his company for $45 million. He's got like 200 friends on social.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
well, your private accounts are very small.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's
These
it.
people don't want people to.
Yeah, they're
To
private.
know.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people that are very, very well off
Very,
want to be private. And that's like how it used to be,
Yes,
right?
yes,
So
yes.
a lot of the times we think we know all of the major players because
You see on social.
right, you see
But
it on
yeah,
social
those are
media,
not,
but
yeah.
they're
But those
not.
are
They
not.
really aren't, you know.
Yeah.
They're all behind the scenes like crushing it. So
Right. Right.
Man.
I'm actually super interested in your conversation on your podcast with Andrea
Oh,
Tupuola.
yeah, she's great.
No, I know.
we're
Yes.
trying to get her on. She
Well, we're just trying to work out the schedule, but
right.
how was that conversation?
She was really great, and having her on, I didn't understand. I didn't know her.
Yeah.
So the conversation started off like, "Are we gonna butt heads? Or are we not?"
Right.
And after we really clicked, and
Yeah.
she's really for us and trying to help us with
That's
the permit.
great.
She
That's
knows
awesome.
The struggle. She knows the process, and
Yeah.
she's trying everything she can.
I know,
Right.
which is why it's amazing.
It's not her, it's them. The permitting process is self-run by
Mm-hmm.
their own, so no one could really control them other than the mayor can kind of impose things to them.
Right.
The permitting process run by this lady named Dawn, they kind of have their own little world. And
Yeah.
they're like the water company, where the water company makes all their own money and they self-run themselves because they make their own money.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
process is very similar here in our state, so they have their own like control.
Yeah.
Do you have any like solutions? I mean, I people ask me that all the time,
I
and
mean,
I'm like,
but
we're
you've
because
been
we're
in it
we're
longer
in
than
it.
we have.
You've been in it for a really long time. We know
I've
all know the
struggled so much,
struggles. Yeah.
I've tried different routers, third-party reviewers. I have 7 going right now with 3 different runners, just to try everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I use an inspector that a lot of us use that.
Yeah.
That didn't work out. With
Yeah.
him. There's no solution to get it faster now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm stuck with Jolene right now, has 3 of mine. She was on vacation this week. 2 weeks ago when I checked, she was on vacation then. And it's like you're just at their mercy.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
And the best way to explain it is it's a company and they're not running it well.
Yeah.
They're not incentivized. Like
They're
a
also not
company.
even willing to try and change it either.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, think about the people that are getting paid in that company.
Yeah.
They aren't
They're
incentivized,
not
like you
incentivized.
just
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
right?
It's not
Like
like
so.
a company with a culture. And they
Right,
really
a
do
culture,
their
and like
job.
You get
you
bonuses
can work
if you do a
towards
good job.
bonuses if you work hard. Like it's just
not,
you get this very mediocre salary.
Yeah.
You show up to work because you have to, and that's it. You know what I mean? So
they don't have incentive.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think if they privatize it, that would be huge.
Dude,
privatize
that's
it.
my main thing. That's what I keep
the one
saying.
thing that
But
keeps
that-
popping up for us.
I
too.
don't think will ever happen,
think so.
but that would be the best thing for permits here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's so interesting. Okay,
know.
so I want to switch gears real quick. You're working on a really cool project here in Hawaii. Can you kind of tell us about what that
Yeah.
is?
I'm super excited about Color now. It's just a fun thing. We're
Yeah.
trying to create. There's a great movie on Apple TV. It's called WeWorks. It's a public and nationally company, and he created this fun culture, a fun environment. So I spend most of my day at work. You know, I spend
Yeah.
most of my life at work.
Work.
Yep.
So I want to be at a place where I'm just surrounded by good people. We want to create just a fun culture down there. We'll bring marketing people, maybe lawyers, and we were going to bring escrow. We were going to partner with Pam, bring
Yeah.
escrow down there, and try
Yeah.
to create a fun community of people.
right.
Yeah.
And I have this vivid vision actually, where we're going to teach kids some basic financial literature. I
Love
wanna
that.
Teach
Love
kids
that too.
How
Yeah.
to read a balance sheet and how to profit and loss and how to start a company and
Right.
real estate basics.
Financial literacy basics. Yeah.
No one
Mhm.
teaches you that in school. They
No.
they
No.
always leave it out of school.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I just want to teach some basics how to start a company.
Mm.
And I think there's so much that's not being taught in school. So I'm our environment, our space has this fun kind of co-working. You can have events, you can have meetups, we have conference rooms, a lot you can be done there. And I'm office hacking. My office is going to be in a corner in there, and just create a fun environment where I can go enjoy and be at work, because I spend a lot of my time.
Well, you want to
Yeah,
enjoy
yeah.
where you spend most of your time
Yeah.
too, right? There's something about that, the energy in a room. If people are vibrating at this frequency, you elevate to that as well. You know.
Well, I mean, and then the people in the room they're very entrepreneurial. Like, it's exciting. It's super super
So
cool.
when is that going to launch? Like,
It
when
was
can
supposed to be
we?
done already. And for anyone who doesn't know where a co-working space is, it's like a WeWorks or like a Starbucks on steroids. You can go to Starbucks and you can work comfortably in rooms and pods and phone booths, and we have a podcast room, and we have
Nice.
phone booths
Yeah.
and meeting rooms.
There's
So-
more and more of these collaborative spaces popping up. I know Ashley Wasson just opened one.
Hawaii Kai, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's cool that you're opening one in Waikiki, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So-
what if somebody was interested, like, how would they even like be a part of it?
We're about to get a 3D renderings up, and we'll start renting it out, pre-renting it out.
Nice.
obviously, before.
Super cool.
There's a huge demand. We've had a consultant and did market research. All the co-working spaces are all fully rented out, and they're fully
Crazy.
huge need.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
And
there
they're
is.
for it.
There
Yeah.
is.
So
Is it large enough to hold?
it's huge.
Meetups?
6,000 square feet. It's
Oh, wow,
bedrooms.
it
So we
is
can hold
big.
a Deals and Aloha meetup there?
It's huge. It's bigger than that, yeah.
Featuring
It's huge.
Indar.
Yes. No, you guys can just have it for yourselves.
Yeah, that'd be
Dude,
really
do,
cool.
like, a
But it'd be
huge-
cool for you to we hold one there and you talk about that deal. You know what I mean? And
I'm way over budget on it. And
such is life.
I'm pouring a ton of my money into it. but
Yeah.
Hoping to get it back. And the return should be very profitable once we.
Yeah.
Get it
No,
back.
that sounds super.
That's
super
it is
exciting.
cool. I'm interested. Like, how did you even think like
It
that
wa-
was
it
going to
was
be
a-
an option? You
just
know
a
what I mean?
fluke. Me and my partner Jay, I have kind of a partner. We own some properties together and done some stuff there.
I've met Jay.
he's a-
Yeah.
my
He's
mentor.
Yeah.
right.
He's a beast.
He's
very
awesome.
smart guy.
Awesome.
And we were just looking for an office together to rent.
Yeah.
And the agents was showing us stuff, and she's like, "Well, I'm got this listing over here for 1.1. It was listed for." I'm like, "I don't want it, but here's
Yeah.
a $600,000 offer." And it was during COVID, and they took it.
No
Shut
way.
up. Are you serious?
That's
Wow.
wild.
See,
It-
make
it-
aggressive offers,
It
people.
praised at 1.2 when we bought it. Yeah.
See, all that
Dude, that's
equity built in.
wild.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's
I
cool.
kicked my rehab budget down.
Yeah.
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 But so it was just kind of a fluke. And then when I got it, Jay, it's like, oh, the co-working space is a huge demand. He got a consultant. It's actually more of his brainchild of it
Yeah.
all. I'm not just a construction guy.
Love
of it
that.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
That's a successful partnership.
yeah.
Yeah.
We have
That's
a great
cool.
partnership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're actually, one of our goals on our goal board is to acquire a commercial space, because I am part owner of a nonprofit. I was very heavily involved, but now I
You did that
went
before, yeah.
straight
Yeah.
into real estate. So I'm just on president of the board now. But I'm looking for a commercial space to move the nonprofit into, because we've been renting for so long.
really?
Yeah. And so if I can have that, my nonprofit be the flagship tenant, and then we can
Yeah.
run our real estate company out of
We'll
it.
have a little spot for a real estate
basically an
company.
office hack. That's
Exactly.
what my first thought was.
I don't need
100%.
my garage to be our warehouse anymore.
We can
I've
get some
changed.
warehouse space.
It's a big change when I shifted from my house. I was at the condo for a while, and I went to an office. It really shifted my whole experience of life. Because when I was at home, it was just work, and my mind was always kind of going, and I would go on the computer at night. And,
Yeah.
But now that I have an office and I work, work stays at work.
Yeah.
And I go home, I'll check my phones, but
Right.
my mind does turn off, which I really value now.
I love that.
Yeah,
now
yeah.
I
Mind
just close
clarity.
that door over there.
Yeah, this is the office. You're like, office is closed.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a
yeah.
close sign on
close
it
know.
with
Yeah.
hours of operation on the door.
Oh, that's classic.
But that's huge into my life right now. The clarity of my mind. I have Brandon was telling me that he has a bunch of rental properties in the mainland, and he's selling them not because they don't cash flow, they work great and everything, but because he wants the clarity of his mind.
He
That's
wants to
crazy.
unclog
He wants
that
that
part.
space
Yes.
back. Yeah.
So that's important to me now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
The mind
Yeah.
clarity, so you can focus and
Yeah.
build your company and you can grow.
Yeah,
Yep.
And that's why I don't do some hard projects and certain things.
yeah.
Totally.
I think that's just a natural progression, though. As an investor, you're super hungry and you're almost desperate. You'll do whatever deal you can get. You know?
I mean, you need money. Like, that's the thing. Our focus is singular.
We
and it's
needed
like,
money.
bring in active income. Like, we need money, money. But I think as you grow, you start to realize, like, there are other things that are much more important. And then you can build out that money side. But it's not all about that.
No.
Do you remember I had an aha moment maybe 4 years ago when I was flipping. We're doing well. I made a huge profit on a deal. I had this huge aha moment, like, man, I can lose everything right now, go broke. I can just build this all over again. Like, I had this aha moment, like, I was gonna be okay in life.
Yeah.
I can go wholesale at some deal or something. Like,
For somebody interested in starting in the fix and flip space, what is the advice that you would give them?
just to take action. I think we spend so much time worrying about the other stuff. Like, I spent too much time worrying about my company and the logo and the colors, and I got all this. I was really big on Fiverr at the time, and I got a business plan I bought, and I bought a voicemail thing, and all this stuff I was worried about, like the signature, and like I spent like months on it. It was like such a waste of time.
You're like, none of this even matters.
Yeah.
No one cares.
Yeah.
And yeah, just to take the action, I think, is the hardest part of it all. Of course, you know, it's the hardest part when you see a deal, just to write that offer or to call somebody, you know, partner with somebody if you're unsure, of course. But that's my hugest growing point, is always just to take the action right away and figure it out later. Basically, I'll do it now and figure it out later.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if it comes to my mind, I'll just do it.
Jump and build the parachute on the way down.
Yeah, there you go. That's
Well,
yeah.
I think literally that is the only thing that allowed us to get to where we are today. It was taking very imperfect action every single day, not knowing everything, and almost like naively following the direction of what we were told to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Early on, you're just going for it.
Not overthinking.
That's how we met. Early on, I gave shit about something. And,
You did.
Yeah.
You did.
And our buddy, I don't remember having that guy.
I don't know.
We
Yeah.
had that one on for a minute with you guys, huh?
Okay.
No, I liked him. I liked him because he was sticking up for us.
Oh no,
I
that was
actually
so
bought
funny.
some of his deals that went south, actually.
Here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because he's out of
Yeah,
Hawaii.
he
Yeah.
went south on a lot of deals. And,
Well, Hawaii is a very difficult market. We
Yeah.
don't match any other markets.
Yeah, we're very unique,
people
man.
think you can just. I think the hardest part about Hawaii is the ARV, figuring out your ARVs. You know, on the mainland, they have track houses, and you can figure out your whole block pretty simple.
Right.
Figure out your ARV. But here we got Manoa has pieced together this house and that house stucco and single wall, and
Yeah.
you know, figure out your
All
ARVs.
these little sub markets in the markets,
Have
like
you-
in the exact same
Crazy.
areas. It is.
Have
super
you
interesting.
found that your expertise in being successful and doing deals here in a difficult market, a high price point market, has helped you go nationwide and do deals on the mainland? Like, it almost made analyzing deals up there and navigating stuff up there easier because our market is so freaking difficult.
And our price points are so high. I mean,
We're like, oh,
our
that's 200 grand.
single
Okay.
family house here, we're buying a fixer for 900. You know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
mansion in other places.
In
you know?
Texas.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
I don't know. Every market's hard and has its nuances. We make more off of our deal. Here, I had this kind of bothersome thing early on. I'm friends with Leica, and we were talking about how Ryan Panetta does 100 flips a year so he can make 20 grand off a flip or
Each
whatever.
one, yeah.
Yeah.
And Leica was like, dude, you only got to do like 20 of those and you can make just as much as him. And it's like, that was a
Yeah.
huge moment.
This is-
100%.
I don't need
Yeah.
100
Yeah.
flips a year. I just need 20.
Exactly.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that's what he and I always talk about, is that's why I have no desire to do more. I'd rather continue
Quality.
doing what we're doing, quality over quantity, and then just buy passive income.
Passive.
Yeah.
You know?
The
That's it.
flipping is, honestly, I would stop if I could. But it's-
Well, you have your number.
Same. I mean, I think you get to a point where there's that realization where it's like, bro, this is like very stressful. It's high risk. It's hard. You know what I mean? Like, let's scale back to wherever we want to
no
be.
one lasts long in this business. I mean,
No.
I've been doing it for a while. I could count on my
A
hand.
lot
I
of
mean,
people that have gone in
now
and
you guys
out.
been out for a while. You see a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
Tons of
Yeah.
people. Yeah.
That's why
It's
when
crazy.
people early on start on, I don't really put too much.
That's why you gave a shit in the beginning.
Yeah. Because I don't think those.
You're like, they're not
They're not
gonna
gonna
make it.
stick. Yeah, they're not gonna make it.
Most
people
don't. I know.
Yeah.
I know. You
Yeah.
never know who's really going to take the action and take the knocks and keep going.
take the knocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can they handle the knocks?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
That's the key.
That's the key
component.
thing. Yeah.
Can they get up and keep moving forward?
We were just talking to Dustin Amoto about that exact thing. That the character is actually built in the losses, not in the wins.
Yeah.
It's true. I value a friendship with somebody who's lost on a deal and knows that struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then is still here.
Still here. Yeah, I know that he knows
Yeah.
that struggle.
100%.
Yeah.
Dustin's
The real
been
struggle.
around.
Yeah.
Like Kaika,
Yeah.
Courtney.
Yeah.
Kaika is a secret guy now.
Oh
People
yeah,
know.
he's a secret
Yeah,
agent.
he's I went to high school with him.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
He's got
So
such a beautiful eye for it.
yeah.
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 he's
We
really
actually had lunch with him the other day.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to get him on the podcast, but he's very
He's super
hesitant
DL.
because
Come on,
he
bro. Like,
he's
change your name
very,
for it.
very behind the
Yes,
scenes,
yes,
you know.
yes, yeah. No one knows about him.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah.
he's awesome.
I
Yeah. We
give a lot of respect to him.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. So last two questions. If you could go back to the beginning, what is one thing that you would do differently?
Just the action, yeah. More action sooner.
More
Yeah.
action sooner.
More action sooner. Do more. You know,
Yeah.
you always kick yourself in the butt. You could have done this better. You can do more better. But honestly, I don't think I would change much. I think I'm happy where I am going and ending up. Yeah, there's things I made mistakes and could have done better, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy where I'm going. There's probably friendships I should have built more. Or there's,
yeah.
I should have spent more time in this or that. But you know, in the end, it's just my family. You know, my family doesn't know all the extra hours I worked. You know, that
Yeah.
Yeah.
they just care about the time with them. So,
Right. Hindsight's always 20/20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then last question we ask everybody is, what impact do you hope to leave with the audience?
Oh, with this audience right now.
With the Deals
Yeah.
and Aloha
Deals
audience.
and Aloha audience.
You guys can all do one flip, all do one deal together. Even if you partner with it, if you're an investor on a deal, do whatever you can just to be a part of a deal and learn. You know, my first deal, I was scared shitless.
Shitless, yeah.
And I partnered with somebody. I brought a professional in there. He's done 3 flips. And,
But more than you,
More than
right?
you at
That's
the time,
that's
yeah.
a lot
he
more.
actually
So.
ended up moving away and leaving, but just the security during the flip and moves.
Oh
Yeah.
no way.
The security of having him, I think,
Yeah.
is comfortable.
Yeah.
We
totally.
always say that is when people ask us that question. We're like, I wish we partnered on our first deal.
Yeah.
Like we took bumps and
We got
bruises.
cracks.
We
Is that
got
the one
cracks
I-
on 16th
that
Ave.
was the
Yep,
one I missed?
that's
Yeah.
the one. Yeah. Yeah.
We didn't lose money, but like we
got lucky the market
we
did.
didn't know what we didn't know, you know. But if we were to partner, like if we partnered with you, we probably could have gotten in and out of that deal quicker and actually made some money.
Yeah,
You know what I
that's the
mean?
thing.
Yeah.
The quicker you can turn these deals,
Yeah.
it's the key, and it's quicker you can turn that investors' money. You know, you can do more.
Right.
Yeah.
Recycle that.
So much.
Yeah.
I mean, everything and anything could have went wrong on that thing.
Yeah.
We underestimated rehab costs. We hired
I'm
the
not a
wrong
licensed
contractor. We got a violation on our first house. It took us 8 months instead of 6 months.
We got
so
our
like,
master's degree in flipping on our
But
first
you
deal.
luckily sold it for more than I made it up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We sold it for
Because early on, if you
$9.15.
Sold it for
don't- if you get that
$9.15.
loss, man, it's a
Yeah,
huge
we.
kick.
Well, that's
Keone
the
always
thing,
says
like,
it too. You don't want your first deal to be
it'll
your last.
be your
deal.
last deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
My third one I lost pretty big,
Yeah.
and luckily I had another flip closing 2 weeks later. That
Our
Yeah.
second flip was on Niumalu Loop. And you
Yeah,
were
yeah.
doing
Oh,
your
yeah.
meetups
Niumalu
over
Loop.
there,
Yes,
right?
yes, I
Yeah.
drive
I
by
just
it all the day.
recognized
it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Does-
white
does
one.
it still look
Yeah,
good?
it's on the corner.
I think yeah, that's good, yeah.
That's
I
so
don't like going by our flips because I'm like, does it still look good?
Oh,
What
do
did they
you?
do
Yeah,
to it?
yeah.
What did they do to
I
it?
love that. That area is a dope area. You actually have a house right now in the
I do,
marina right
yeah, I
there.
live over there,
And
too.
you
Yeah.
live over there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I like that
I got 2
market.
listings up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
We've
Hawaii Kai's great.
I've done houses literally side by side from each other. I've done houses
That's crazy.
on like streets where we create
I love that.
comps, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing that
We're
right
literally
now.
doing that right now.
That's
we have
pretty
a little
little
cul-de-sac
private
in
road.
Kaneohe,
Yeah.
and we've done 3 houses on the
It's a
street.
Great market.
Oh,
Love
yeah. We love
Kaneohe.
the east
Yeah,
side.
yeah,
it's
we
like
love
the
it.
new Kailua everyone's moving.
Yeah.
to Kaneohe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
and they have a
Those-
Target now, so it
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah, big
It's
time.
great when you get a market and you really understand that market and you kind of fall in love with it. You want
Yeah.
to do more in that market.
Well,
just
you
'cause-
only understand that and learn that by doing deals in different markets.
Yes, of
you know
course,
what I mean?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Fair
now
enough.
you know, like top of your head, like if you somebody told you a deal and kind of
You're like, yep, I'll take it.
Like, oh shit, that's a deal.
I will
Let's go look at it.
Yeah, right now.
Here's
I
the
don't need
contract.
that.
Just know in your head.
Yeah.
100%.
That's what it is. You know, I think early on, a lot of gurus say, "Hey, get the map on the wall and start price pointing around the island and understand." You
Right.
just know in your head now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
right away. You
Yeah,
get the
yeah.
numbers.
You find your expertise. You find where you like to do deals.
Flipping is a napkin. You can napkin it. You know, you can
Oh, yeah.
napkin math it.
Yeah,
really
the
easy.
numbers are always
Yeah.
pretty much the same.
Commercial.
Different
multi,
story.
Yeah, you gotta really dive in
yeah.
and know your numbers. We didn't even talk about that.
No,
I know,
we
I know, I
didn't.
know.
We'll have to have you,
We'll have to have you come back
Airbnbs,
and we'll talk about.
Airbnbs is a great machine too.
Oh yeah, big
Airbnbs,
time.
we
We love
love
Airbnbs.
Airbnbs.
We have in Hilo and then also and here on Oahu and then in
Florida.
Florida. That's our
Yeah.
other market. So
You
we're
use some
buying.
software. You have some. You have
We
channel.
just have a we just have.
I don't we don't
Yeah, we
self-manage.
don't do any of the management
But I-
at
You have
all.
somebody.
We have a
somebody.
property manager, but I'm like, I've always in the back of my mind, I'm like,
How much do they pay,
should we? No,
15?
15, which I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not
That's
that
great,
bad, you know.
I want to make a property management company to manage Airbnbs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where
so-
that's why I'm like, should we just
Create
jump
our
over
team?
the ledge and
It's an easy-
actually
it's an easy-
create it and
yes.
do it?
Because it's
you
a
know?
lot of just like you said, the softwares that you
software
have
does it
all
And
automation
then our VAs is handling the extra communications
for the guests.
And
Yeah,
everything's pretty
responding and stuff.
standardized, you
Yes,
know.
the software does everything. We're like super hosts because we blow them up. We're like, how's your stay?
Yeah, how was your
going?
first
Hey,
night?
how's your night? And here's a checkout and check-in instructions.
Yeah. How was your first night?
And
And
they're like,
yeah.
It's so great.
Yeah, thank you so
communication."
much. I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
we love Airbnb. We'll keep doing that for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's hard with
Definitely.
the regulations. I know a guy here who's on the board for hotels, and he says their hotel industry is trying to make them totally illegal in Waikiki.
Just shut them
Just
down.
totally
Even
shut
the
'em
resort mixed use buildings.
Power
Yeah.
of lobbying.
Yeah.
It's in those super high tourist hotel run
destinations.
places because Vegas, a lot of the
Same
same
thing.
thing. New York is the same
Yeah.
thing. It's like all those big tourist economies.
Yeah.
So
I've seen a lot of people get in trouble in the sense that they weren't ready for it happened in Hawaii. Is they weren't ready to put them into the single family rental. Like what happens when Airbnb shuts down? Does it work with the 1%?
Right, having multiple
and I
exit
think
strategies.
that's what's important, and that's if we talked about Airbnb, this is like one of the biggest things. Like you don't want to bank on the
On the
Airbnb
Airbnb.
income.
Exactly.
You need to be able to work
go
as
on
a
a 1%.
long-term
Yes.
rental,
Yeah.
and then the Airbnb is bonus.
Right.
That's extra.
Yes.
You know what I
Right.
mean? But if you
So
get caught,
analyze it with the 1% rule, make
Right.
sure that works.
Right.
yeah,
And then on top of that,
right.
so much people don't
No,
realize
and then you get caught, and you gotta sell, and it doesn't matter if you don't have equity. Like you're selling for a loss, so it's like you're
Yeah.
stuck. You know,
Yeah.
but.
Take note of that. Underwrite it multiple ways.
Yeah. So,
exits.
how can people find you?
Do you want to be found?
Yeah. Do you want to be found?
Indar, Hawaii, yes. Of course, please come support. I say ask questions because I actually love answering questions and comments because early on I had so many questions and I didn't know nothing early
Right.
on. So
Yep.
I love taking the time to ask like questions. There's no stupid question, of course.
Right.
Yep.
But just don't ask me who's my private money lender, who's my contractor, and who's
Yeah,
my,
right.
Yeah, I get those questions sometimes.
Yeah.
Same.
I'll teach you how to find them.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can find your own. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna give you my personal.
So Indar Hawaii on Instagram,
It's the social, TikTok,
all the things.
everything. Yeah, we have our own podcast as well. So
Oh, you do? What is
have
it?
you Guys, Hawaii Money Guy.
Nice.
Yep, yep.
We would love to be on it.
We would.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
We're on this whole
Super cool.
podcast where you're just going all in on it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Great.
fun. They're fun.
They're
you just get
fun.
like
Yeah.
intimate
Story.
conversation, talk story, and then a lot of times you can bring people on that you wouldn't necessarily have conversations.
yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With, and then the other thing is we're all freaking so busy.
Yeah.
We put it in the schedule to do this.
Yeah. We're like,
then
well, this is work,
we
you know, and
force
work. This is the
ourselves-
fun part of
Yeah,
work.
we force ourselves to do it. So yeah.
The catch-22 because our phones are blowing up. So
Yeah,
know, like,
right.
ding,
I
ding,
had
ding,
to turn
ding.
my volume off on my computer.
So
But
nuts.
thanks for coming.
Yes, thank you,
Appreciate
guys.
your
Yes, thank
you
for
sharing.
hanging out because I feel bad that I never get to formally hang out with you guys. and
Yeah,
get to
no,
know
it's
you
it's all
guys.
good, dude.
It's
well,
all
I'm glad
good.
we're cordial now.
And Deals in Aloha with Alex
Yeah.
and all the deal makers.
Yeah.
July 29th.
Yeah, we'll be
Yeah,
there, of
Indar
course.
said he was going to be there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you guys got to come
It's a
say
great-
hi.
It's a great location.
But you're having a meetup
Oh,
too,
it's
right? Right
perfect.
before ours on Friday. I saw that.
Yes.
Aren't you?
I think yes.
I think I saw it on your Instagram.
My team
but
is
Yes,
having
we're
a meeting.
Yeah.
My team handles a lot of that. And
Isn't
Yeah,
that
yeah.
great? Isn't that great?
Yeah, that's
They're
awesome.
Really good at that, and it's a lot of work putting on events.
Oh,
Oh,
right.
the
You
hotel.
guys did the
We did
hotel
the
one. That was kind of intense. Yeah, that
and
was
a
like
learning experience for me. Get sponsors. We pay for it all ourselves.
Get sponsors.
Yeah.
Double
Can
than
get
we
very
thought.
expensive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bring
Yeah.
sponsors in to help.
Yeah.
offset it and-
For sure.
Well, we got to talk about it because we want to do something like bigger. You know what I mean?
You know how we talked about how we have to go to the mainland to get in these masterminds and really get value? I want that to stop. I want to bring high value stuff here. We're
Brandon
willing.
had his Better Life, which was really good. It was
Yeah.
It was high level people. So
Yeah.
I love going to events with higher level people.
Exactly.
I want
Yeah,
that to
yeah,
be
yeah.
on Oahu.
Yeah.
we have
Oahu, not Maui. But
I
yeah.
know.
But yeah.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
Yeah. Thank you so much, bro. We're
Peace out,
good.
everybody.